What's up, marker heads? It's another drawing from me today. This one has some of my original characters in it. Their names are Gladdy and Featherbell. This was an art trade that I did with Imagine Art 21614 way back in like October, excuse me, of 2012. So this is kind of an old drawing. I really like this drawing, except that I'm not very happy with the way the perspective on her body turned out. And I wish that I had kind of tried to work the sketch a little bit more, but I didn't have a lot of time to, and there's a lot of things that I would change in this drawing, but I do really like the colors, and I really like the way that her hair turned out, so I figured I would make a video for this drawing anyway, even though I'm not super proud of the way she turned out, but anyway, it's just a chance for you guys to see some of my own characters for once instead of Pokemon, so I hope you like it, and we'll get into the other Q&A questions that are in this video, and that's about it. My 46th question comes from Raven Skunkgirl, who asks, do you have any digital art, and if so, what program do you use? Now, I used to make digital art, and I have some on my DeviantArt, but my Wacom Bamboo tablet has been having some problems lately. I think there's something wrong with the driver. I think that I need to reinstall my driver, but I haven't been able to do any new stuff without having tons of problems. So I haven't done anything recently in digital. I use GIMP, which is a free program you can find online, and I can put a link to the website you get GIMP off of. I really recommend GIMP. It's pretty easy to use. They've added some things recently that make it kind of difficult, but it's definitely worth trying out because it's for a free program, it's really advanced, so I do recommend trying GIMP. My 47th question comes from TheCpten, who asks, what do you think about tracing? And this relates a little bit to that reference question that I had in another video. Do you think it's cheap? Do you learn anything by tracing? I will trace my own art if I've messed up on a piece so badly that I have to restart, but I don't want to start from scratch. I don't like to trace art by other people or from photographs. When I was a youngin', I did it a lot when I was a kid, and I started to rely on tracing and stencils, which is a really big downside because it doesn't really, I don't think it really helps you learn form that much. It just teaches you how to follow a line with a pencil, and that's pretty helpful for learning how to do line art after you've finished up a sketch, but I personally don't recommend tracing something line for line as a way to learn how to draw. Plus, I don't like to trace because I think it's boring. Even if I'm tracing something that I've drawn, it's just not very mentally stimulating for me. It's just, it's kind of like, just trying to become a copier. And I have a printer that can do that for me, so it's just not very entertaining to trace. My 48th question comes from Night of the Werecat, who asks, when you sculpt, do you build up the clay or carve into it? I use polymer clay, so I tend to do additive sculpting rather than reductive sculpting, which means I just keep adding bits of clay to the sculpture. I make an armature out of wire and foil first if I'm making a really big sculpture. I'm not very good at sculpting right now. I've been watching The Brooding Tom, who is a YouTube artist that does really great sculptures. He did this amazing dragon, and I've been watching him a lot recently, so I highly recommend him. And go ahead and check the description because I'll have a link to his channel, so that you can kind of see what I'm talking about. He's really good, and there's a lot of really great sculpting YouTubers out there that you should check out if you want to learn more about sculpting. My 49th question comes from Master Zoroark. I could never pronounce that Pokemon's name. They ask, which is your favorite Eeveelution? I'd have to say it's a three-way tie between Umbreon, Jolteon, and Leafeon. Umbreon and Jolteon are both members of what I consider to be my team. The only reason Leafeon isn't a part of my team, I guess, is because I already have 2 grass Pokemon that are in my team. I don't know. But I really love all 3 of those Pokemon. Leafeon's just adorable, and Umbreon's just, he may not be the strongest Pokemon in the world, but he's definitely one of my favorites, and of course Jolteon is just so cool looking, and I kind of like Pokemon that have a little bit of an attitude, and I think that Jolteon looks kind of rough and tumble, and I really like Jolteon because of that, and just Leafeon's just so adorable and fairy-like, and I really like all 3 of those Eeveelutions. But of course, I'm one of those people who loves all of the Eeveelutions, including the new one, and alright, well that's about it for Gladdy and Featherbell. If you want to get to know these 2 characters a little more, I do have a link to the final image, and I wrote a little short story about these 2 that you can kind of go to learn more about them. It's just a little short story that I wrote, and it kind of introduces the characters a little more. I have another drawing, line art, I guess. I have line art ready of another drawing that I did of these 2 that's pretty cute, and I might be coloring that in the future. But if you want to learn more about them for now, you can go to that link. If you don't want to, you don't have to. I'm not saying you have to go there and learn about my characters, but if you feel like it, you can. Anyway, soon I'll be uploading another video of Dragonite and Umbreon and their trainer, I guess. And it's going to be a pretty in-depth drawing, I guess. This is the drawing that's on my DeviantArt page, is my main picture. So a lot of people have already seen this picture. I'm really proud of it. I'm really proud of the way it turned out. So I'm excited to finally upload the video. And you can expect to see that sometime soon. So I'll see you guys at that video.